Hello. A computer operating system is the user interface of your laptop computer, and it is how we all usually work with our computers on a daily basis. However, if the internal storage device that houses these system files malfunctions, it can leave your computer virtually useless to you. How would you like to remedy this today? It's very easy. I can show you how. So today I'll be demonstrating to you how to remove and install a new or working internal hard disk or storage device on a laptop computer. First, I will begin with showing you the supplies and the hardware that's needed. Second, I will demonstrate how to uninstall a physical hard disk storage device on a laptop. And last, I will demonstrate how to reinstall a working or new hard disk internal storage device on a laptop computer. Having technical computer skills or basic computer skills can save you a lot of money. One of the easiest things to start with when tinkering with computers is a physical hard disk on a laptop. It's very simple to use, or very simple to do, and like I said, it can save you lots of money, and it can prove to be an invaluable asset to you and your family, because once you start getting into this and changing possibly memory and hard drives and other hardware, it can save a lot of money and keep money in your pocket. So let's begin. First of all, we'll be needing a tool set, and in the tool set, actually we'll only be using two tools. It's very simple. We need a screwdriver, 4-way, or Phillips, as some would call it, and we need a pickup with sharp teeth on it, okay, or pair of tweezers, whichever how you prefer to call it. Then we need a physical hard disk storage device, and of course we need a laptop computer. Okay, so let's begin. On this particular model, okay, we'll be turning the computer over on its top. Some computers, you would remove the screws at the bottom and then turn it back over and remove the top off the keyboard, and that's how you would access it, especially ultrabooks that are very thin. This one is about 1 1/4 inches thick, so we'll turn it over on its top, and they have placed a panel on the bottom in the lower left-hand corner. So this is where we'll be working. In the lower left-hand corner of this particular model, those two screws here on a panel, so we will remove these two screws. There's also another panel on here in the middle. It's a bigger panel. It's where the memory is stored, but we're working with the hard drive, so this left-hand panel is where we are. We'll remove this cover, set it off to the side, and then I'll show you the inside here. We've got a bracket, and underneath this bracket we have the hard disk or internal storage device. Over here to the side we have a screw, so we'll need to remove that. That's what holds the bracket in place. So let's remove that screw. This is where the tweezers come in place, come in handy. We'll take the screw, because you can't get your fingers in there sometimes to get that out. And now, on the hard disk or the bracket, we have a little plastic flap here. Okay, if you don't have that flap on your computer, you can just take your fingers or thumbs and push down and slide out, and it'll come out. But in this case, we have a flap, so we'll pull back, and it dislodges. Okay, and then you can just take this and pull it out. So now we have the inside of the hard drive bay in the computer case. Right here we have the socket that the computer slides into. If you'll notice on the hard drive we have pins here, so these have to be lined up correctly. The pins have to be facing the slot when you reinstall. If not, obviously it's not going to work. You have to make sure everything's lined up correctly. Okay, so what we need to do now is remove the bracket. We've got 4 screws total, 2 on each side. Okay, oops. Try not to lose your screws. There's 2. And 3. They're very small screws, so be careful with them. If you drop them, you may not find them. Okay, now we have the bracket and we have the hard disk. Okay, this is the back, this is the front. On the front of the hard disk, usually there's a sticker here that gives you the specs of your hard drive. In this particular case, we are using a 120 gigabyte storage capacity hard drive, and it is an IDE, an enhanced IDE hard drive, and it tells us up here on the sticker. However, if you take this to the store and its sticker is wore off, you can't see it, and you don't really know what type of hard drive to buy. You just take it, they'll be able to look at it and tell you what type you need. Okay. In this particular case, I'm going to be replacing the original hard drive. This one was just for showing the supplies and hardware that we needed. Okay, so we're going to be putting this back in. So what we do, you don't want to place it, you've got to be careful when you put it in because, like I said, your pins are on this side. If you put it in that way, then you're going to be taking it back out. If you put it in this way, it looks like it's correct, but the screw holes don't match up. Okay, so the sticker needs to be seen when you put it in, and the pins need to be shown on the outside, just like this. The holes line up, so then we can replace the screws. 3 or 4 times, and that's all it takes. Okay. And here's the last one, and then we will install a working physical hard disk internal storage device on this laptop. So here we go. Everything's connected right together. We'll take this and place it into the drive bay, just like that. As you can see, it slides back and forth. So what you do is take your finger and slide it until it seats in to the socket. So it's seated in, it won't go in any further. And like I said, make sure everything's lined up before you do that. You don't want to bend any of the pins as you install or place the hard drive in the bay. Okay, now we've got one more screw, so we'll need our pickup again. And we will grab hold of the screw, line it up here, and place the screw in, and this just secures it to the casing of the computer so that it doesn't slide back out and loosen up from the socket. And then in the middle of using your computer, it just quits working and you're like, hey, what happened? So you want to secure that back in place. Okay, next we want to place the cover back on. Snap it down. You've got 2 screws that's still left in the cover, so tighten those down a little. You don't want to over tighten, just hand tighten, snug. Okay, there you go. So now we have just installed a hard disk drive in a laptop computer. And that is how you do that. So now what we want to do is remember that when you are purchasing a new hard disk, that you want to, if you're not familiar with what you need, be sure to take the old one with you because many times the specs are listed. If not, they'll be able to look at the drive and be able to tell you what kind that you need. So if you're not familiar with it, take you an old drive with you, or take the old one that came out of your laptop with you so that they can see it and help you in purchasing a new one. And then, last of all, let's not forget that when you're installing a physical hard drive, be sure you line things up correctly because the hard drive will only go in one way. If the pins are not lined up, it won't plug in or move into the socket, and you could damage the pins. So make sure everything is aligned first, then slide it in, and you're good to go. There's no problem. And then, so now with these simple instructions, you can now install your own physical hard disk, save yourself some hard-earned cash. Once you get into this and you start replacing simple things such as hard drives, memory chips, things like that, it can add up and save you a lot of money over time when things need to be upgraded or replaced. So this can become a valuable asset to you. And remember also that when you purchase or install a new hard disk, it doesn't come with an operating system. So you'll need to install an operating system such as Microsoft Windows, Linux, or if it's an Apple laptop, you'll need to install the OS X Apple operating system. Thank you, and have fun, and good luck tinkering with computers.